Hello and welcome. We have a special feature now. Thank you very much to Mrs. Ocampo for that video, featuring music by one of our digital music students as well, Ashton. Yeah, he's very excited about himself. Thank you everyone so much for coming. It means a lot to our students that you are here, supporting them and supporting our community and our music program. This is the jazz portion of our evening, featuring all of our jazz groups and jazz combo. And we are very excited to start with a song by Jazz 79, featuring Alex Kozakowski on the trombone, a song called Cry Me a River. We have a few very strong trombonists in grade 8. And I think I've commented on them for every performance. You'll hear more of them in the grade 8 concert band. But Alex is a wonderful up-and-coming trombone player. And that's the song the grade 12s played last year, but it was by request. The next song we have is called Mr. Poppy. fun Latin song featuring two of our grade 7s, Caleb Lau and Tej Bopara. Bopari? I am very sorry. He's not, I don't know if you're the absolute youngest student in our class, but the youngest, learning the saxophone. A lot of students in this band started their instruments in September, or learning jazz in September. Tej started in February. He came very late to the program and is probably one of our most enthusiastic students. I find one of my hardest jobs in jazz is trying to teach this music like it's a conversation, and like the most fun part is not reading the notes on the page, but just making stuff up. And some of the students buy into it, and some shy away from this and try not to solo. So it's lovely to see students like that. Speaking of which, our guitarists, anytime I ask if anyone wants to solo, at least 2 out of the 3 are always, yes please, I want to play as much as I can. So that was Leo Turco on guitar and Max Brennan on guitar. We usually don't have so many guitarists, but I love all 3 of them. They're doing so well, and they're so enthusiastic. Our next song is just the 2 of us. featuring William Yip on the tenor saxophone. Honestly, it was a lot of fast notes for the saxophone section, and a lot of really good playing. Good job, guys. I feel very honored to teach these students. It's very early every second morning that we have to learn. Sometimes that's not a good time to learn, especially if you're a trumpet player. But I love the energy that they bring to the class. And I love how excited a lot of this music makes them, including our very last song. But before our last song, I have an honor band award to give a student. At the end of each year, but usually during the spring concert, we hand out one band award to one student in each band, not including the combo. This one is slightly unfortunate, because our student is not here. He is very sorry to miss this. Do we know who it is? Logan, yeah. We had one bass student who's been part of a few ensembles outside of class. So his reason for skipping today is because he's playing in a rock band that is touring in a couple places in the U.S. But I especially have appreciated everything he's brought to this band, which has included being a drummer in our February festival. Okay, without further ado, we have one last song. It is from a video game. I don't think you will know what the video game is. The song is called Megalomania. It's written by Toby Fox, who is kind of the composer of all the music and the creator of the video game. And I'm blanking on what the video game is. Someone shout it out. Undertales. Next, we have our combo. Sometimes the best way to learn this music as a conversation and solo as much as you can is by cutting out a lot of the other musicians and making it more of a conversation, having a little bit more time to stretch out. So this ensemble is a club that happens after school on Wednesdays. We've had a combo at BC for a number of years in a row, but it always kind of takes a different form. This form seems to be one of, what do we have? Grade 10 through grade 12. And there have been a lot of requests for different songs, which I'd love to hear. I think at least one of these songs was a request of the students. Okay, we have two songs which are very famous jazz standards. One is called On Green Dolphin Street, which is from a movie from the 1950s that just, I think because of Miles Davis, we blame everything on Miles Davis. He did a version of this song from a movie, and then every jazz musician seemed to know it afterwards. So this is a very famous song, On Green Dolphin Street, followed by Lover Man, which is a lovely ballad, I think made famous by Charlie Parker. Next we have Jazz Band 10. They've been pretty busy this year. And the typical performances, including today. But before then, in February, they played at the Surrey Jazz Festival. Then did we do something in April? I forget. Nope, we prepared in April. We prepared for Niagara Falls. This was the first time in a long time that we took the Vancouver College bands to Music Fest Canada, which is otherwise called the Nationals. And essentially every music festival that we've gone to for many years follows the protocol and standards of Music Fest Canada. It's the main festival throughout the country that's been running since the 1980s. It grades very harshly, and it has some amazing clinicians and performers. We were very lucky to attend Niagara Falls 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. It feels like a blur. It went by so quickly, and I think our students had a wonderful time. We had two days in Niagara Falls to check out a lot of wonderful music there, and then almost 2 days in Toronto as well to check out some more performances. I think we left feeling very inspired, played some very challenging music, and you're about to hear some of it, starting with a different song that I think we played for a while, but never performed. It's called Uptown Funk. On the tenor saxophone, and Quentin Yankana on the drums. You can tell they like that song. I think everyone likes that song. It's always a hit. The next song is one of the most famous songs in jazz history, written by Billy Strayhorn. He was the composing and arranging partner for Duke Ellington, who's kind of one of the most important jazz musicians of all time, especially for ensembles like this. Billy Strayhorn was young and gay composer at the time, struggling with a lot of things, and black, in the 1940s and 1950s. He wrote this song, which has some of the darkest lyrics in jazz history. And I don't think I'm going to recite them today, but you should really check them out. If you ask a lot of jazz musicians, this is their most favorite song, called Lush Life by Billy Strayhorn. was a very hard tune. They did a very good job. Isaac Lai on piano, and Danny Han were featured trombone and piano soloists. There's one more song for you. The student for this band award is here. He's put in a lot of hard work and effort, and you can hear it on this last song as well. The Honor Band Award for Jazz 10 goes to Noah Chaka. So the last song is written by a local musician called Bill Runge, who is a saxophonist. You might be able to guess he's a saxophonist once you hear the song. It is based on a Miles Davis song called Milestones, and he called it Yardsticks.
This is Jazz 11. We are very excited to be playing it tonight. And actually to introduce our very first piece, this is Caleb Ocampo.
We're going to start with Count Baba by Gordon Goodwin, arranged by Paul Murtha. The soloists will be Iggy on the trumpet and Joseph on the sax. Enjoy.
Enjoyed that too. Did you guys enjoy it? Yeah. So for our next two, we'll be playing How High the Moon. Let's get together. And it's arranged by Craig Wolf, and our solos. It's going to be a trombone solely by Nico and I, and the solos will be Nico, myself, and Adrian on the clarinet. Please enjoy.
Yeah, give it up for all of our soloists. So next we have Georgia on My Mind, which is written by Homi Carmichael, and the words are by Stuart Gurrell. It's about a little state that is called, well, Georgia, the land of oranges, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. It features me on vocals.
It's nice that they want to get on the mic so I can talk less throughout the evening. I'm so proud of the group behind me. We've had a really good year together with lots of festivals. and concerts. They've been relied on a lot for fundraising events and school things, but also we've done a couple of field trips and festivals with the year that they've had a good time and done and performed quite well at. We also are really proud to say that this group got gold at Music Fest the second time in DC history. Quite Niagara Falls was a blast, and we had a really good time there, I think. I got really sick this year, and this group behind me is a big reason why I kind of wanted to come back so quickly and kind of kept me going in some of those bad days. And so I really appreciate the boys who are standing behind me now. Further to that point, I need a lot of substitute teachers to come in when I was gone. And I want to kind of honor one of the students here who is not just one of the leaders of the group, not just one of the strongest players that we have, but he also stepped in quite often to lead classes, lead rehearsals. And he also had a solo, and that I'm pretty sure helps solidify that goal at Music Fest. And so the Band Honor Award goes to Adam Newey. Okay, last up we have one more song. I think it's probably our toughest of the entire year, but also our favorite, maybe. At Music Fest, one of the adjudicators did use the word "written" to describe the vibe of it. It is a lot of fun. It features Miko and Adam on solos, and it's a good time. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being here.
have one more band. It is the grade 12 jazz ensemble. Most of them are in grade 12, and they've waited a long time for this. At least a few hours tonight. Most of them have been playing their instruments in this program since grade 7. Hands up if you've been here since grade 7. A few. I remember a few of them. I subbed for them in at least grade 8, and they were so enthusiastic and knew so very little. And here we are. I'm very proud to be teaching them right now, and they put in a lot of work this year. And I think they're the only ensemble that decided on a theme. Except I can't see the theme right now, guys. Where is it? It's wet. Oh, okay. The theme comes out during the solos. I feel like I should just let them take charge. This is a song by Charles Mingus. We played a couple of his songs over the years. Charles Mingus is a very interesting character, a bass player who did some very crazy things. He was very passionate in his beliefs and hated critics. And his music is just very soulful, bluesy, and down to earth. This is called Nostalgia in Times Square. Nostalgia in Times Square, featuring Ethan Ramos on the trombone and Aiden Ing on the alto saxophone. The next song is called Doodle's Groove. think it's about someone's cat, but it might be dog. Chris Berner is a local trumpet player and composer and big band arranger. He came to the school a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, to help us with this song. It is a song that Chris Berner composed and wrote on commission by us for this band. We performed in Niagara Falls. It went really well. I think the students really like it. It's a very interesting song, starting with a very groovy saxophone section. Doodles groove. That was featuring Caleb Ocampo on the tenor saxophone and Luke Patzer on the baritone saxophone. The next song is a very famous jazz ballad called My One and Only Love. It has very beautiful lyrics, made famous by John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman. This is an alto saxophone feature featuring our baritone saxophonist because we wanted a solo feature. And I immediately thought of this one. It's a very beautiful song. I hope you could hear the lyrics, but Luke is going to play them on the saxophone. My One and Only Love. Luke Patzer on the baritone saxophone. We have the honor award for the grade 12 jazz ensemble. It goes to Ethan Reynolds. Can you stand up if you've been in this program for 5 years? Hey, all of you. Can you stand up if you've been in this program for 5 years? Since what, grade 8 or grade 7? This is most of their last concert. They put a lot of time into this program and this community. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate working with you. You've been wonderful to learn with and somewhat hang out with, throwing hats in the stairwell. And I'm sure Mr. Hordisky and Ms. Ashcroft and Mr. Olson would say the same thing. Thank you. And thank you all of you for supporting them. We really appreciate you coming. We have one more song, El Final de Verano.